Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to talk about the Bitcoin cycles and look at, is Bitcoin continuing to follow the cycles? Is it doing anything different than its typical 4-year cycle? We're also going to take a look at the global liquidity, right? Why isn't Bitcoin, which typically moves up in the post-halving year, moving up yet, right? We'll look at the global liquidity and maybe there's some clues in that we can find for Bitcoin. So if you like today's video, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's jump on in, right? So if you've been following the channel, we've been following this 4-year cycle, right, for a while, right? We know that Bitcoin typically moves in these 4-year cycles, which is typically 3 years up, 1 year down, 3 years up, 1 year down, 3 years up, 1 year down, right? And just to illustrate that, I just took the past 3 cycles, right? Yellow is 2017 cycle, the blue is the 2021 cycle, and obviously the bars are our current cycle, right? And you can see, give or take, that we've relatively done the same thing this cycle that we've done every single cycle, right? You could just see, right, very clearly that really up until about November of last year and even December of last year, we were exactly where the previous 2 cycles were at that time, right? Which is pretty crazy considering that the bottom happened in November 2022 and you're fast forwarding almost 2 years and being right around the same point that the previous 2 cycles are. Now, we have fallen behind the 2020 cycle, right? Was probably going to happen, right? Diminished returns, probably not going to get the same returns that we did last cycle just because the market caps are, so much higher than they were in the past, right? But what I think is interesting is if we actually just move the 2020 cycle over real quick, how we've basically followed the 2017 cycle almost perfectly, right? And it's kind of been kind of crazy how well we followed the 2017 cycle, right? So, if we just connect the lows, both cycle lows right here, right? You can see that we had the same staging period at the bottom, right? Where we went sideways for, about a year here. We had a move up, a long extended 8-month sideways period in both of these cycles. Another move up, a long extended sideways period here in both 2017 and 2016 and 2024. And now fast forward to where we are now, we had another big move up and we had a pullback right around the same time that we're currently seeing our current pullback for Bitcoin, right? If we were just to continue to follow this, right, and we obviously know that we're not going to follow it to a T, we can go above it for a little bit, we can go below it for a little bit, so it's not like we have to follow this perfectly. If we just take this for face value and say, what's the more likely move for Bitcoin? Is it to go significantly lower, or significantly higher, right? I think you would say based on the 4-year cycles and based off how well we are following this 2017 cycle, it is more likely that Bitcoin goes significantly higher than significantly lower, right? Could it go short-term lower? Absolutely. Absolutely can go short-term lower. You can go below this. You can go below this. But I think if we were to say that, okay, we believe in the 4-year cycles, the 4-year cycles are going to play out again, I think what we would say is we would probably expect Bitcoin's next big move to be to the upside, not to the downside, considering what's happened in the post-election year in both these previous cycles, right? So what I also wanted to show you here, besides the fact of, us being right around this period right here, right, where both the previous cycles ended up somewhere up here around this time, right, in May, usually Q1 and Q2, or at least the first part of Q2, were the most bullish times in the cycle for Bitcoin, right? We haven't seen that quite yet, and I guess that's okay up to a certain point. But I just wanted to mark off in the 2 previous cycles, May, right? May of the post-election year. And this is kind of my thinking going into this year was we go up until about, May, June time period. And we do the typical sell in May and go away. Why? Obviously, 2021 in May, we saw about, a 50% decline on Bitcoin, right? 50% decline on Bitcoin in May of 2021. If we actually go back to May 2017, we put it at a top right here in May. We went slightly higher in June, but more so was the top in May. And then we saw about a 40% pullback on Bitcoin. Now, we haven't seen a 40 or 50% pullback on Bitcoin this cycle. And maybe we won't get those this time just because Bitcoin is so much bigger. But I would say it's not impossible. My question I'm asking myself right now is, if we're going to continue to follow the 4-year cycle, and Bitcoin, I know it right now, it feels as though Bitcoin cannot go up. It feels sluggish, and that's typically what happens when you get these long drawn sideways periods. It almost feels like Bitcoin can never go up again. It felt the same way over here down in September and October when we were down at 50, 60K. We were going sideways for 8 months, thought Bitcoin can never go up again, and then it did about a 2x in the span of about 2 or 3 weeks, right? It can happen very, very quick. So my question is if we do a big move to the upside, do we sell in May and go away again? That's what I have to ask myself right now. Do we sell in May and go away and wait for the 40 to 50% decline on Bitcoin before re-entering, right? This is not for the long-term holders, or, this is more so of people trying to trade the cycles, right? Which I think is a very valid strategy when it comes to Bitcoin, is trading the cycles. Obviously have a long-term bag that you don't touch. I think that's a big thing too. But do we sell in May and go away? That's my strategy right now, right? The old sell in May and go away homage. And then really the place to buy back was in July, right? Obviously July 2021, pull back from May to July. You buy back in July, you're very, very happy into November, right? Obviously right here, right? You pull back June, July, you buy back in July, you're very, very happy in November, right? So that's still kind of my stance. And I know when you look around the market right now, it does not feel like this market can go up, right? It does not at all. It just doesn't, right? It feels very stagnant, worn down, beat down, like a puppy, right? Almost like a puppy right now. But I'm continue to follow the 4-year cycle. It did us very well right here to say Bitcoin's going to go up when a lot of people were calling for Bitcoin to go to 30K, and further down right in here, instead of looking back to the upside because of the 4-year cycle. Same kind of thought process right here. A lot of people looking for significantly lower 70s, right? My opinion is over these next few weeks, maybe we fall behind a little bit, but ultimately the bigger move happens to the upside for Bitcoin, not to the downside for Bitcoin, right? Now, here's the thing. What happens if we're wrong? What happens if we don't go up into April and May? What happens if Bitcoin just keeps going sideways into April and May? If that's the case, I don't know, right? And I think it's okay for me to say I don't know. If Bitcoin continues to waddle in here, throughout March or February, March, April, and no significant move happens before May, what then? Do we see the opposite? Do we see Bitcoin go up in the summertime? Which it just hasn't done that in a long time, right? Summertime here was boring and down. Summertime in 2024 was boring and down. Summer in 2022 was boring and down. Summer 2021, right, was boring and down, right? I think almost in summer of 2020, which we had money printing, was still kind of sideways. So it's been a while since we had a bullish summer. So the question I ask myself is, if we do not see a move up and we see sideways for Bitcoin into May, what does that mean, right? That's what we have to ask ourselves here. Now, we're not going to talk about altcoins today. We're going to keep today's Bitcoin only video, right? But I want to look at total market cap, right? And I want to see if maybe we can find some clues as far as the Bitcoin cycles using global liquidity, right? So we obviously know the more liquidity that's in markets, the higher risk assets are going to go up, right? We can just overlay this yellow right here, which I'll just show you guys right here, is this global liquidity index. If I just show you what this entails, it basically takes the USA money supply, Europe money supply, China money supply, Japan money supply, and all the other countries, M2, right? And just combines them to make an aggregate of all the global liquidity in the world, right? And if we just overlay it, you guys can see a pattern here, right? When global liquidity goes up, crypto total market cap goes up. When global liquidity goes up, crypto total market cap goes up. When global liquidity goes up, total crypto market cap goes up. Now, and we can even look at it in previous cycles. Global liquidity doesn't move up, crypto goes down and sideways, global liquidity starts mooning, crypto starts mooning, right? 2017, same deal, right? Global liquidity goes down, crypto goes down, sideways, sideways, global liquidity starts turning up, and guess what? Global liquidity, crypto market goes up, right? Self-explanatory. If we look at what's going on right now, we're in a very interesting period here, because you can see that global liquidity since about since September has been moving down, right? For the last 5 months, we've seen global liquidity move down. Crypto actually moved up during that time frame, right? So we actually saw an inverse move, which is very, very rare. The question I have is that people front running the potential QE, right, and money printing, smart money front running, knowing it typically comes in the post-election year, or was that just people speculating on Trump, right, going against the grain of global liquidity, right, or even us just catching up because we did move up on global liquidity here, crypto moved down, maybe that was just us catching up to that, right? But what I have to ask myself is something different right now, right? Or is this about to go higher? Because if we look at the previous post-election years, and we'll mark off January 2021, right? Or really, I guess, January 2021 is right here. And you can see that we were getting a large injection of liquidity, and basically money supply was up only up until about that point, right? And so much money was coming into markets at that point, pushing the market up. Very different than what's going on now, which is the last 5 months into the post-election year, we've actually seen global liquidity move down. And if we actually go look at 2017, we just mark off January 2017, you can see that we had this pullback into December. This is actually kind of somewhat similar to what we saw now. Pullback on global liquidity. Crypto kind of waddles around in here for a few months, still moves up, but waddles around. And then really in January 2017, you can see, money supply of the world absolutely frying up, right? And then crypto absolutely fries up, right? So up only pretty much all of 2017, up only pretty much all of 2020 and 2021. We did see an up only period from June to October. But the question is, did we price that in? Because we actually came back down to exactly where we should be now. So my question is, and I think this is what it's going to come down to, guys. I really do think this is what it's going to come down to as far as the cycle goes. You can see where Bitcoin is in the cycles, exactly where we should be. What will make Bitcoin do this? And what would make subsequently? So I don't know the word. What would make altcoins do what they typically do in the post-election year? Well, I think it's very simple. You're going to need this global liquidity index to start moving up, right? In a big, 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 big way. If you want to see total market cap go into full-blown price discovery like it did in previous cycles because global liquidity was mooning, right? And I think it's that simple. We're going to have to see crypto markets struggling right now because we're not getting new money into markets. It's that simple. We start seeing this move up, I think we can be more confident that the crypto market and total market cap, if we talked about, which is retesting the previous all-time highs, is simply retesting here before price discovery. But we need to see global liquidity move up. And if we do, going to give us the confidence that this is going to happen, right? And going to give us the confidence, which I guess maybe we should already have the confidence, if we do follow the 4-year cycles, that Bitcoin is about to do its post-election year move before May, which I know sounds crazy right now, but that's what it's always done in the post-election year. So all eyes are not just going to be on Powell, right? Not just going to be on, all these countries, but all the countries combined when it comes to global liquidity, right? We got to keep an eye on this because Bitcoin's exactly where it should be in the cycle. We could actually take a look at altcoins. They're not too far of where they should be in the cycle, depending on why people think they're at a different spot. They're really not, right? And I can show you guys that, right? If we just bring up total others, we bring up the others chart, And I think the reason why people think that the altcoin market's struggling more than it is simply because the meme coins, right? Meme coins stole the show throughout 2023 and 2024. But in reality, if you actually kind of look at where altcoins are, right, and you know, on a whole, there's more altcoins now, so obviously it's going to be harder for them to move, guys. We have to know that that's obvious at this point. We look at where altcoins are at the moment. I mean, just in December, they were exactly where we should be. Now they've fallen behind, but you can see, you know, we fall behind sometimes if we just look at, but we were exactly where we should be in December. We've now fallen behind, obviously, because we just said global liquidity has moved down, which has made the altcoin market move down. I mean, I think it's kind of funny. If you overlay the altcoin market to this, man, low, moved up, altcoin market moved up. Started to move down, altcoin market started to move down. Altcoin market kind of bottomed out here. This started to move up, altcoin market moved up. Altcoin global liquidity went sideways, no new money coming into markets, altcoins go down. Global liquidity moves up, altcoins move up. Global liquidity moves down, altcoins move down. So once again, we're not too far of where we were in the previous cycle. What we need to see at this point, and I think we all kind of know this, right? In the back of our heads, we all kind of know this. What we need to see, if you're going to want to see your altcoins move up, we're going to need to see global liquidity move up, right? Just like we've seen in all these other times where altcoins moved up. We've got a little move up here, but we need a more significantly move up, all right? If we just want to look at this from the altcoin lens. Very similar there. So that's about where we're at, guys, all right? And, you know, we kind of look at this and, you know, we can also look at this from, you know, the Ethereum lens, which I think is another also, you know, kind of fun way. Not, I guess maybe not a fun way to look at it, but if we look at, you know, the global liquidity index overlaid over ETH, right? Same kind of deal, right? And if we actually, what's kind of funny is all these lows that came in here for ETH, right? Obviously this trend line, take off the 200-week moving average here real quick. Look at the similar pattern here. You know what I mean? Like, you guys can see every time we'll just draw a trend line like this. It's not going to be a perfect trend line because it's global liquidity. But look, every time global liquidity came and hit here, that was also ETH hitting here, right? We hit here, global liquidity hit there, ETH hit here. Global liquidity came down to it, ETH came down to it. Global liquidity back down to the trend line, ETH back down to it. So it's obvious what we need here, right? It's obvious what we need here. And we need to watch this over the next couple weeks. Does this push up again, which then allows ETH to push up again, and for Bitcoin to continue to follow its cycles of the 4 years? Or does the Fed and all these other countries keep quantitative tightening? This continues down, ETH capitulates, and Bitcoin starts to do something a little bit different than it ever has. That's the question. Now, there's obviously a scenario where Bitcoin keeps going sideways and these altcoins capitulate. There's obviously that kind of thing we have to watch out for. But as it stands right now, ETH is here. Global liquidity is back here. Does this push up? Because if it does, I'm willing to bet that Ethereum would also at least push back up to these highs again, if not new highs. If it does not, and the Fed says, screw you, you're probably going to see altcoins move down, right? So this is what I'm going to watch for these next few weeks. It's very apparent where we are. Very apparent what this market needs at this point. We've gotten good news. We've gotten, you know, clarity from the SEC. We've gotten clarity from the pro-crypto president of the US. Hasn't amounted to much. What's going to get this market really rolling, I think, is a combination of use case, right? and more money coming into markets, right? More inflation causing these asset prices to go up. That's what we need right now. It's very apparent. I think it's that simple. Everything else doesn't matter. When you look at a chart like this, literally nothing else matters. When global liquidity has gone up, crypto has gone up. When global liquidity has not gone up, crypto has gone down. When global liquidity goes up, crypto goes up. When global liquidity doesn't go up, crypto goes down. When global liquidity goes up, crypto goes up. When global liquidity goes down, crypto goes down. Right? Is there anything else you have to watch here, fellas? I really don't think there is. So what I'm going to watch for is, you can notice that each one of these global liquidity runs have kind of front run the crypto runs. What I'm going to watch for is a front running of global liquidity moving up before the next crypto move up, right? So that's the video today. Bitcoin exactly where it should be in the cycle. What's going to cause this next move? Well, it would be just like in 2017 and 2021, simply global liquidity moving up like it did here and like it did here. And the matter of fact, if it doesn't, that's where you have to start getting a little worried, is if global liquidity does not move up again and instead stalls out here for another few months, causing these altcoins to move down because there's no new money entering markets. But as of now, you saw where we are on the Ethereum chart and Bitcoin chart. Based on global liquidity, we know what we need, fellas. Follow the 4-year cycles until it doesn't work. The 4-year cycle says new money will be entering markets soon. Will this time be different? It could be. That's also a very, very dangerous thing to say. All right. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll be on with a new one. Maybe I'll upload a new video that I'll upload tomorrow morning. Look out for that, guys. Thank you for watching today's video. Thought it was fun. Catch you guys in the next one. I'll be back on live streams once the market starts to pick up, guys. I've been liking doing these videos lately. I will be back doing live streams as soon as there is exciting price action that is exciting to talk about. Because right now it's not that there's anything wrong with the price action we're getting right now, to be quite honest. Nothing really wrong with it. We're kind of just going sideways in a lot of things. But until we start seeing some crazy price action, I'll be uploading some videos. But as soon as we start getting some crazy price action again, I will be back on the live streams. You best bet. All right. Catch you guys tomorrow, hopefully for a live stream. All right. See you guys. Peace.